Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Galley La Podcast. I'm your host, Geboss, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Akainu Fanboy.
Yo,
And this week, Oda decided to take a sudden break, so hopefully he's just resting up and getting better to deliver us more awesome chapters. But since it's October, I figured we should talk about the scariest and most creepy One Piece arc of all, which is clearly Wano.
yes.
No, but for real, I just wanted to revisit Thriller Bark because I feel okay. For me, Thriller Bark is definitely within like my top 10 favorite arcs, and I feel that it's significantly underrated, and I feel like that's the case based on the people who experienced it through the anime versus those who experienced it through the manga. What do you think?
Well, so I experienced it through the anime, and I did enjoy it. So, okay, I remember at the time, I was watching it through Hulu, and Hulu, oddly enough, skipped the entire Thriller Bark, and then you only had it on Subodi at the time.
Oh.
So it's a grave sin, but basically I jumped onto Subodi because I just got tired of waiting, and so I skimmed through it. But then I watched it back when it finally got on there, and I enjoyed it like all the way through, and I thought it was like a really good time.
Yeah. Well, for me, I read the manga first, and then I watched the anime, and I feel like the anime added a lot of like unnecessary like filler. They extended the stuff, and it just didn't really match the tone. Like I remember there was one particular scene where I think it was Nami and Usopp were being chased by all like the zombie people, and they were like hopping along these columns, and it took like 3/4 of an episode. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the pace was it was not good for the anime version initially. Sure. But yeah, another thing that I just wanted to say is just I feel like this is the last arc really of One Piece that I feel that feels just like it's an adventure, and it's not like a whole like world-ending crisis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Because I think you still get the sense of awe and adventure with this arc. You get the whole crew, they're interacting, you get a new crew member, you get some solid flashbacks, you get some good comedy, a lot of exploration, and then there's kind of like a creepy lore that you're slowly finding out about, you know, like how this whole process begins. But then there's still like that great connection of like the warlords and Kuma and the Gorosei, and then the news of Rob Lucci. So there's a lot of cool elements that are at play here.
Yeah, and I feel like it focused mainly on the Straw Hats because I was going over like the big people who were introduced, and it's like Moria and his crew, like Perona, Absalom, Hogback, Sindri, Oars, and then you got Lola and her crew, but it's really only Lola who matters. And then Kuma right at the end, and that's like less than half of the people that were introduced in like Dressrosa, you know, and Fishman Island.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so like we got plenty of people to interact with compared to like future arcs, but we had they're so much more memorable, I feel.
Yeah, and I think like also you have that wonderful theme of this is right before the red line, right? And the red line, you're slowly getting amped up, and obviously you get the Moria Kaido thing and how Moria went insane from his crew dying and everything like that. So I think there is something really cool, and then this is, if you watch it as an anime person watching all the anime, you get the filler arc right afterwards. I think it was the Red Phoenix Pirates, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time, but they emphasize that too. They tried to go to the red line and they got obliterated basically by kind of like an unknown ship shooting fiery objects at them basically, which is most likely Akainu kind of looking back at it. So yeah, so anyways, I kind of think like there's something really cool because you have the mystery and awe that's going on with Thriller Bark, but then you also get an addition with like kind of that next filler arc too. It kind of amplifies that theme more. So, you know, you kind of let your imagination go like, oh, what's this red line, basically, and so that odd adventure is still present there, which you don't really feel as much in the current story. You're getting a bit in Elbaf right now, but yeah.
Yeah. So, but I feel like since the New World, it's like, okay, like literally every island has to be saved by the Straw Hats, you know, except I guess for Whole Cake, they were just kind of trying to save Sanji.
But, and I would say Zoe, I did actually get a bit of adventure in that small mini arc too.
Yeah.
But I think it was so compact, you know, and you didn't get flooded with so many characters, and there was like a lot of cool lore thread, and it was just like really a cool little interesting arc. I actually like Zoe a lot. I think Zoe's pretty underrated. And I think Whole Cake too, there's like so many layers as well. And there's definitely a good amount of adventure because there's just all these like little islands, and you got the bin smokes and everything like that too. So that would be like some counterpoint. But yeah, like Dressrosa and Wano though, you don't get that sense of adventure though.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly like interesting stuff in it, but it's not like with Thriller Bark, the whole impetus for them going there, they got the barrel that kind of exploded on them and kind of lured them into the Florian Triangle.
And
then they met Brooke and everyone, and they basically got trapped, and it's not like they were even they weren't like nervous or anything. They were just going, it's like, oh, let's see what's on the island since we're here. Find a way to get out. And
it's like that one movie, I'm blanking on the name, is always so hard, but the horror One Piece movie. It's a lot of similar vibes.
Yeah, Baron no Matsuri.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the atmosphere of Thriller Bark 2, and so I know a lot of people like to make fun of him, but what do you think of like Moria as like as a character, as a villain?
He's a better villain than Kaido. It's not even close. I was like, without trolling, I just like his character. I honestly like his character a lot. I don't think everyone needs to be a badass powerhouse to be like a threat or to be a genuine nuisance or to have an interesting story, you know? So I actually enjoy Moria a lot.
I would argue that he has one of, if not the most iconic laugh in One Piece. But yeah, I like how he starts out like he has all these zombies and he's just kind of laid back and not really caring all that much. Like when Luffy fights him, he's like not even like putting up much of an effort to blocking all of Luffy's attacks and everything. But like you said, like once we get more of his story with his relationship with Kaido and everything, losing all his crew, it kind of puts into our minds like the threat that the New World prepares. It like we're preparing for the New World because we're just on the cusp of going there. And I think that and that leads into Sabaody, where they actually do get beat and separated and everything.
Yeah, great build up. And then again, like that filler arc kind of really emphasizes that. I think it's one of those filler arcs that helps emphasize the thread that's coming in, and it preps you on a thematic level for it all. But it is just kind of interesting because the island is just full of, like, Moria is like a throwaway character in the sense that he failed, you know? He doesn't have the talent anymore, basically, you know? And his career is dead, his aspirations are dead, and then so he just accumulates like thrown away people, you know, and makes a thrown away army, you know? He's second rate in that sense, you know? So, and his ambitions are dead like his crew are dead, too, you know? While I think like with Dofi or Crocodile, they all had pretty big ambitions, you know? Right. So I think there's that element of there too. So
I enjoy. I know people meme on Moria a lot, but I still think he's a good character, and I think that Oda definitely has something with him in mind, because we saw like with the cover story with Yamato, like the most important part of that whole thing.
Yes. He will have a greater impact on the story than Kaido did. I'm not joking. I'm like, no irony there.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of Kaido, I just wanted to bring up that I feel, for me, I would say the Straw Hats versus Oars fight is within my top 5 fights in all of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Kaido versus like on Roof Piece and everything was kind of going for that with all the teamwork and everything, but I don't think that it lived up to this, because right, because I feel like every part of the Straw Hat crew had good teamwork with like trying to take down Oars and everything, because I would say like Oars is bigger than Kaido, right?
Yes, way bigger.
Okay.
Jack's bigger than Kaido.
Well, I'm talking about like in his dragon form. But
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
But yeah, I absolutely adore the Oars fight. Like I said, like the teamwork with everything you got. I feel like an undersung hero of that fight is Chopper, because no, seriously,
controversial.
Because Chopper was the whole reason that they defeated Oars, because he was the one that figured out like the weak points of him, like saying like like this is not like Oars' original arm, so this is his weak point.
Yeah.
And then he's the one that said, oh, we got to straighten out his spine so Luffy can snap it and he can't move anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And you got a lot of good stuff, like the Straw Hats going all out just to defeat him and everything. I feel like when we were reading Wano week to week, I feel like that could have been set up again, like the Straw Hats going up to the roof and fighting Kaido for a bit. I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity, because I miss all the Straw Hats working together. I don't think we get too much of that in the New World, you know,
or if at all. I mean, like I'm not trying to crap, because Ahab is like really phenomenal, really good stuff. But like, you don't. I think kind of the only teamwork. I don't know. Did we get that a little bit with Summers and all that with Egghead?
Summers was in Elbaf, but I don't know. Summers.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry,
yeah, but Summers was kind of. That was mostly Robin, right?
Yeah, I guess
Robin and Gabon.
Yeah.
And then Chopper jumping off a cliff.
Yeah. No, there wasn't too much.
Yeah, but yeah, I also like that Oars is just basically like a big Luffy in that fight. Like you have like the naivety and everything of Luffy and Oars wanting to be king of the pirates. And I also really like, since it's playing on that, there's the part where Moria's like manipulating Oars' shadow to give him like the approximation of using the gum fruit with his stretching and everything. Yeah, and then we get like prototype Gear 4 with Nightmare Luffy, which I'm fine with because it makes sense in context of the story, with powering up through the shadows.
Yeah.
I just really, I've reread that fight multiple times. It's always so good.
Yeah, and I think like also just after Egghead, we get to this idea of who Kuma truly is, you know. And I think retroactively looking back at it, where Mori's like, you're the dog of the government, you know, and like, oh well, those words hit a lot harder now, you know. And we just, so we get a lot more, because Kuma's portrayed as this dark evil tyrant and he's blasting people away. And so I like how he is like revealed in this menacing aura. I think it's actually great, like really genius how Oda presents him right off the rip.
Yeah.
But he's like one of the, probably is the best person in the series on a moral level, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that whole part with Kuma too, like, I think it's narratively, it's also really like a big gut punch when you initially read it, because it's like, okay, we defeated one warlord, and here comes another one.
Right.
Yeah, and you also get the air of mystery, like, oh, why did he leave him alive and everything? We get that Zoro did the nothing happened moment, which
Sanji tried too, which was a great moment also. I want to add in there.
Yeah. No, definitely. But yeah, there's I think it's weird because I feel like people don't look at Thriller Bark fondly enough, but at the same time they don't tell you to skip it, you know, like they tell you to skip Skypiea, because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like it's kind of interesting because you had like, I think Zoro versus Ryuma was a great development of Zoro's character.
Yeah. More
than what he got in Wano, actually.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought it was really cool. It was a good fight. It doesn't need to be like spam, DBZ.
Yeah.
Whoa, big lights, right? You know, it's like, no, like this actually brings more character to him.
Yeah.
So
it was an
really
actual
great
swordsman fight. It was a duel.
Yeah, and it was like a, you know, it helps lore building. It helps with the Brook stuff too. So it was all very well done.
Yeah. Like he had to earn that new sword. He had to earn it, and then in Wano he's
like Enma.
I would. Yeah. In Wano they're just like, hey, give up that sword, and there's like, okay. It's like, take this other better sword which has Odin hockey in it.
That was just bad writing right there. Like it's you see the contrast so vividly with the treatment of Zoro as a character, and that's why I'm not a fan of Zoro post time skip, but I love him pre time skip. You know, and I think that's just kind of a huge example right there. Because what for Wano, he had like the whole Yasue thing, which really wasn't that great, and then for the Sanji characterization, you had him like, you know, rescuing. It's actually really funny when you kind of think about that, because he's rescuing Nami from this wedding and everything like that, and then Nami helps rescue him from his wedding in Whole Cake.
Oh yeah,
you know. So I think that's like a cool little thing how Oda sets up there, and I argue he heavily ships the crap out of them. If you watch both of those arcs back to back, like it's like that's just definitely what he's setting up. But there's that element, but then you also have Sanji saying, well, he's trying to sacrifice himself too, but he says like something I always find interesting. I don't think it's going to come to fruition, but I think maybe he'll get a lot of respect where he said, I'm going to become the most wanted out of anybody else on this crew, like, so come for me, you know?
Yeah.
And I think there's always kind of something interesting with these. I know with Usopp it's kind of different when he says statements and they come to fruition, but I think there's kind of like these weird declarations that the Straw Hats make and that they do come through. So I don't know if Oda's just going to drop that off, but because he usually gets clowned on with his Wano posters, so I don't know if something like really kind of badass is going to eventually happen with him, you know? So that's just kind of a thought there too. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could see him having at least the bounty equal to Zoro at the end of the series, but I don't know if it would ever surpass Luffy's.
Yeah. It was just an interesting phrase that was like said in a dramatic context. So that's why I think about it with these predictions sometimes. But yeah, no, it was good. You know, Sanji got to be a gentleman and rescue Nami and do all that jazz too. So that was. And then Usopp was actually pretty funny in this arc too. Yeah. You know, I think he had like a lot of great moments. Also another great comedy moment, which is Luffy trying to get all those, you know, like that's just genuine, like amazing comedy. You know, the tree.
Oh yeah, he wanted everyone to join the crew.
Yeah, and they're just running away terrified of him.
Yeah.
So that was great too. Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of Usopp, really quick, I really like his. I feel like there's a lot of like underrated fights in this, like Usopp versus Perona. I feel like played to his strengths a lot.
Great one. Yeah, great one.
Like he busts out Soga King for the last time. in that fight.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah. I'm praying for the next time he shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the last time we've seen like the impact dials too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time we saw like Frankie really kind of vibe with the crew and drive around. And have the 1072.
Yeah, Frankie with his, they're like, oh, we got to get across this chasm, and then Frankie builds like this intricate like bridge in like a matter of seconds, and he's like, oh well, it's not as good as it could have been. That one, and then also in the oars fight, there's the one where he's building the rickety staircase up to like punch oars in the face, and Chopper's carrying the boards.
No, that was we don't get that.
Yeah, and of course the pirates docking 6.
Of course,
like, come on.
That was great.
Yeah, a lot of good like comedic points.
See, it would be great if Oda did that again with Jinbei. Because Jinbei would be down.
Yeah,
Jinbei would be down for that.
Yeah, but I think he's too big for the arm. I don't know what he would be.
Well, it's okay. He's got it.
But just another thing that I wanted to bring up was, speaking of like character stuff, is with Chopper. Like we don't get anything with Chopper in the post time skip. I'm sorry. We get a little bit of it in Punk Hazard with the sick kids and everything.
So he gets a little bit, kind of. When he feels everybody.
But like this whole thing.
Whole cake, he didn't get anything. Actually, never mind.
He held off Big Mom for a little bit. But
that's it.
But like in this, he's like, he meets Hogback, who's like one of his heroes. Like he's read about him and everything. And he gets to meet him, and he like grows disillusioned with like his whole involvement because he brought Sindri back and everything. And he's like, I don't respect you as a doctor anymore, because doctors are supposed to help people. And I feel like it's like good moments focusing on his role as a doctor rather than just being a mascot, you know.
And it's like lore building to an extent too, right? This kind of like Wolverine doctor, kind of developing him more in the story and kind of making it feel bigger, and also just kind of getting more practice. You know, like it'd be cool if we had more sharpshooters in the series or more good swordsmen, because all of them are frauds. All the swordsmen are frauds, like huge fraud,
except for Vista.
Fuji. But Fuji and Vista, only ones. You know, all the rest are fraud. And so, or like we don't really get like explorers like that can help, or navigators like for Nami and stuff, right? You know, so there is something like that was really well done with Chopper and the Doctor thing too. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
The only other Doctor we've met is Law, and he's way better than Chopper. I
mean, you don't really even think of him really as a doctor, because I feel like he uses his fruit a lot, you know, in his operations, compared to Chopper, who I feel like actually does a lot more of doctoring.
He stayed Luffy's life after Marineford, not Chopper.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but I feel like he used his fruit. But anyways. It would have been interesting if we got more with Law and Chopper, like discussing stuff about medicine or something.
Yeah, we had it for multiple arcs.
Yeah,
you know, it could have happened at one point, but we had to talk about Kiku and Yasue and all that jazz.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, there's much more tighter focus on the limited characters we had introduced, and mainly focusing on the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
And
exactly. And which is getting better, for the record. I'm not trying to crap on it. It's getting a lot better.
Yeah. But speaking of Straw Hats, we do get introduced to Brook in this arc, and I do like Brook's flashback and the introduction of Bink Sake and everything. And yeah, I feel like it was a good introduction to him because right away he agrees to join, and he just meshes really well with the crew. But um, I mean, really, um, in freeing all the shadows from Moria and everything, Brook gets his shadow back and is able to join with the Straw Hats, which is mainly why he's part of them. But but yeah, I wish Brook was used more, but it seems like we're getting more of his flashback coming up with Gunko and everything.
Yeah, he hasn't had much of a character moment since Thriller Bark, has he?
I mean, he's had some stuff to do in like Whole Cake, but
yeah, the Whole Cake he was goated, but like in terms of like a character moment for him, you know? Yeah, no, Thriller Bark was really good, and just like developing the crew.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like this is the last arc until everything like goes into hyper overdrive with the lore and the characters, and not saying that there is no lore in this, but like I feel like it's under the surface, because I mean, like, even now with the Rocks flashback, we're getting confirmation of like, oh, Moria had all these corpses of former Rocks pirate members. It's like, okay,
yeah,
why does he have those? And then that leads to the theories about like, there's the theory that Thriller Bark is potentially God's Valley, because it said God's Valley disappeared and it was in the West Blue, and it said that Thriller Bark was from the West Blue. Seriously,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then
he's just that good.
That
good.
Somehow he got the all of Thriller Bark over the red line.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how either.
But the other thing, we still don't have the confirmation about what happened at the end of the arc with the giant creatures.
Yes.
Which do you have any idea what those could possibly be?
No, and I love it. I love how we don't know, because it's like mystery.
Yeah.
It's ominous. It's really cool.
I think it would be funny if like Oda didn't address it, like until somebody asks it randomly in SBS, like thousands of chapters, or like toward the end of the series.
Yeah, how many do you think in the community are actually like remember that creature?
I don't know. I've heard some theories that it could potentially relate to Emu. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
I prefer it's just like some big creature that nobody knows about. I kind of like that idea. You know, like not everything has to be linked to Emu and the Gorosei and the world government. You know, it just, keeps the mystery in the show.
Well, we know whatever it was, it didn't really affect Thriller Bark, because Moria has Thriller Bark. Like when he showed up at Pirate Island, and Lola's fine because in the cover story, but yeah, I feel like if people if they reevaluate Thriller Bark like as an arc by itself, I feel like they would enjoy it, because I feel like the other thing is that it's sandwiched between two really good arcs. You know, with Eni's Lobby, which is like, I think we're both on the record saying Eni's Lobby is our favorite arc.
Yes.
It's sandwiched between the Eni's Lobby and Savodi, which is like those are
another great top three.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like just as an arc itself, it has a lot to offer, and good character moments. It has like the perfect blend of being like creepy atmosphere, but also has really good comedy and like good heartfelt moments. Like I still feel like the image of like Brook playing with his crew, their final song, and all of them collapsing until it's just Brook, that's still really tragic.
Right. No, it's really powerful. Way better than Kaido's flashback, and it's just like really just devastating, you know. Way better than the Rocks flashback, for the record. I just want to throw that in there. You know, I want, for the official history right there of good arcs. But I mean, yeah, I would just say it's like really well done. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that kind of comes to mind on this topic. That's about it, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I will say, like, it is just another theme on this point. Like, just Moria had his career ruined as like a rookie, basically, and it is interesting how we get Sabaody right after this. So I do find that kind of interesting as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Oda's a good writer when he focuses on the characters.
Not Wano. Yeah.
Yeah. Too much going on there. But
yeah, for sure.
But anyways, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the discussion. Let us know what you guys thought of Thriller Bark, or any other, if you want us to do any other discussions of arcs. And yeah, we will see you next time.
Peace.